1. The departure. He stood at the edge of the roadust, clinging to his sandals, shame not far behind. Once, there was a home, a father, fields that shimmered in morning light. But the son's eyes looked elsewhere toward freedom wrapped in gold, far from duty, far from grace. "Give me my share," he said, and the father gave. No punishment, no protest, just pain behind the eyes that watched a son walk away. The city rose like a jewel in the distance, and with every coin spent, laughter echoed louder. Wine flowed. Lights flickered. Strangers became companions for a while, but pleasures burn quickly when the soul is hungry. And soon, he was alone. Coins gone, pride shattered. His stomach growled louder than his regrets. A field of pigs, mud on skin, rotten husks he couldn't even steal. "What have I become?" he whispered, hollow inside. That's when he remembered home. Not a mansion, not a miracle, just a father, a table, bread. "I will go back," he said, not as a son, but maybe as a servant. Part 2. The return. The road home was long not in distance, but in weight. Every step pressed memory into his bones. Laughter by the fire, his father's weathered hands, the smell of bread cooling on clay. But would any of that remain? Or had he burned it all down with coins and pride? "Make me like one of your servants," he rehearsed, again and again. Each time the words trembled. He wasn't sure if it was shame or hope. And then, just as the sun dipped low, he saw it. Home, a roof, a fig tree. A figure in the field. His breath caught. His heart pounded. He slowed, afraid. But the figure didn't wait. The father ran. No hesitation. No questions. No scolding. Just arms. Dust flying. Tears falling. Flesh wrapped around flesh. Grace wrapped around ruin. The son tried to speak. "Father, I've sinned against heaven and against you." But the father wasn't listening. He was calling for a robe, a ring, sandals, a feast. "My son was dead," he said, "and now he lives." And just like that, the story rewrote itself. Not a servant, not a shadow, a son, restored by love stronger than failure. And somewhere behind the tears, joy rose like morning. Part 3. The brother and the banquet. The music spilled from the house like sunlight. Laughter echoed. The scent of roasted lamb danced through the air. Joy had returned with the lost. Servants moved quickly, tying sashes, pouring wine, lighting lamps. The younger son sat wide-eyed, robe draped over his shoulders, a ring warm on his hand. But not everyone smiled that night. Outside, beyond the light and songs, stood the older son, arms crossed, jaw clenched. He had heard the music, but not the melody of mercy. A servant found him in the field. "Your brother is back," he said. "Your father is celebrating. He's safe, alive." But joy did not break through, only bitterness. "I've served him all these years," the son spat. "Never disobeyed, never left. But he high-waists everything and comes home to a feast?" The father came out hymns again. First he ran to the prodigal. Now he pleaded with the proud. "Son," he said gently, "you are always with me, and everything I have is yours. But we had to celebrate. Your brother was lost and now he is found." Silence. A moment that hangs, unspoken. Would the older son join the feast? Would grace be too much for his justice? Part 4. Reflection and grace. The story ends without an answer. We don't know what the older brother chose. Perhaps because we are still choosing. Some of us have wandered far-burned bridges, chased empty dreams, ended up among pigs. We carry shame like dust in our clothes. We rehearse speeches, afraid of rejection. But the father? He runs. No hesitation. No, "I told you so." Just embrace. Just love. Just restoration. Others of us have stayed close faithful, obedient. keeping rules. But our hearts have grown tight, clenched with judgment. We see mercy not as a miracle, but as a threat. And still, the Father comes out to meet us too, to remind us that love is not earned, that being near does not mean we've truly entered the celebration. The Prodigal Son is not just a story, it's a mirror. A reminder that God is not watching the road with arms crossed. He's running down it toward you, toward us all. There is a place at the table. The robe is ready. The ring fits. The music is playing. Come in. The table was set before he arrived, as if the Father had been planning the feast long before the Son ever turned around. Plates gleamed. Bread steamed. The best wine was poured with joy, not caution. No mention of the past. No ledger to balance. Just celebration. And in the center, a son, stunned by grace, wrapped in the scent of roasted lamb and olive oil. He laughed awkward at first, like someone remembering how. His shoulders loosened, his eyes softened. The past had followed him home, but the present swallowed it whole. "Eat," said the Father. "Everything I have is yours." And it wasn't just food, it was forgiveness, baked into every slice of bread, every bite a sermon, every smile a psalm. The house, once quiet, breathed again. Music danced from room to room. The lost was found, and the found, they danced. Jesus never said if the older brother came inside. Maybe he left that door open for us. Because truth be told, we've played both roles. We've wandered with empty pockets and hollow hearts. And we've stood outside the party, bitter, arms crossed, measuring grace. We've rehearsed apologies in the dark. And we've resented the ones who were welcomed back without earning it. And yet, the Father comes to both. He runs to the rebel. He pleads with the proud. He stands at the doorway, hands open not just to forgive, but to restore. This is not the story of a runaway. It's not just a tale of two sons. It's a portrait of the Father who watches the horizon, who breaks into a run, who throws feasts and redefines what love looks like. And maybe, just maybe, this is your story too. If you've wandered, come home. If you've stayed but grown cold, come inside. The table is still set. The music plays on. And the Father waits not with anger, but with arms wide enough to welcome the world.